Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I have a very fun and simple card idea that I want to share with you, and it has a little surprise on the inside. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have a fun little pop-up card that I want to share with you. So this has a little inside pop-up section that is so super simple to create. So I'm going to show you how to create it, and you can use any supplies that you have on hand. Now the card in this video features the Terrific Toadstools Bundle from Stampin Up. So this particular bundle has a stamp set and a coordinating punch. So since I'm using this stamp set, I just figured I had to create a pop-up card to go with the Poppin' Up greeting that is in this particular set. Okay, so let's talk about how to create this card. We're actually going to start with the pop-up section on the inside of the card, and then I'll just give you a few tips and information about how I created the decorations for the front of the card. So the pop-up section for this card is very simple to create. You're going to start with a 3 3/4 by 10.5 inch piece of white cardstock. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in our paper trimmer. I'm just going to use my scoring tool on my paper trimmer. So you want that 10.5 inch side at the top, and you're going to score at 4 1/4 inches, and then 5 1/4 inches, and then 6 1/4 inches. All right, so basically we just scored this piece in half at 5 1/4, and then we scored an inch on each side. So that's why it's 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 6 1/4. So now we're just going to accordion fold this section just to create a little step on the inside of this piece. So like right in the center here, you want this little step. Okay, so once you have created this little step here, we are ready to decorate this section, and this is actually going to go on the inside of the card. So this will go right in here on the inside. But before we do that, I want to add a couple decorations. It's a lot easier to decorate this when it's in this position than decorating it when you've got it popped up. So I'm going to start with a 3.5 by 4 inch piece of pattern paper, and I'm just adding it to the top part of this little pop-up section. Next, I just cut 2 pieces of the same pattern paper, and these are 3/4 inch wide, and they're 3.5 inches long. And so these are going to get adhered on the little step part of this particular fun fold. All right, and then on the bottom here, we're just going to stamp a little greeting. So I'm going to be using some gray granite just to stamp the greeting. And now let's put together the little toadstools here. So I just stamped everything and cut it out just to make the process go a little bit quicker. But you can use the punch. I used the punch to cut out some of these pieces, and then some of them I just cut out with the scissors after I stamped them. But basically we just want to adhere these pieces together. And then we just want to use this piece here just to create this bottom section. So this will just make it easier to add it to our pop-up section. So I'm just going to bring these a little bit closer, and we'll just add a little bit of glue down on the bottom. And then we'll add this piece over the top. So now we're ready to adhere this to the inside of a card base. So I'm actually using a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock. So it's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I just scored it in the center at 5 1/2 inches. So we're creating a top folding card. And basically I want to adhere this piece on the inside. So you want to fold it up, and I've already added some tear and tape to the front and the back of this. But you want to make sure that you're adhering it in the correct direction. So we're going to start by adhering this down towards the bottom first. We'll adhere that, and then we'll peel off this tear and tape here. And holding this in place, you're just going to bring the top part of this down onto that tear and tape, that exposed tape. And that is your pop-up section. That's how easy it is. Isn't that fun? And so now that little toadstool piece here, we're just going to adhere this right to the bottom. So I'm going to add some glue down on the bottom here. So we'll add a little bit of glue there and across here. And we will add our little pop-up section. I like adding the pop-up section after I have it inside the card like this. So isn't that cute? So we're popping up to say hi. That's what the inside of the card looks like. So now let's add some decorations to the front. So to decorate the front of the card, I simply cut a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of white cardstock. Now I'm adding a 2.5 by 4 3/4 inch piece of just some patterned paper. Then I have a 1 by 3 3/4 inch piece of just a different pattern, just to kind of pull out the colors from those little toadstools. So we'll just add this across the bottom. And then I'm using the same colors that I used on the inside of the card, same kind of design. And we'll just pop this up right on the top part of this piece. And the greeting I actually took from the Friendly Seagulls stamp set. So it just says, "Hey friend." And then for the finishing touch, we're just going to add a couple of these little textured dots. So that's what the front looks like. So now we can go ahead and add this to our card. So the fun thing about this card is it actually stays open, because it has this fun little step there, so it stays open. And then you can just fold it down flat for mailing. You can also fold it down flat to add your front decorations. So isn't that cute? It's just a fun way to use this, and I love the popping up saying. So the card says, "Hey friend," just popping up to say hi. Okay, so there you go. Now you have a fun and simple way to create a little pop-up section on the inside of your card. And if you enjoyed this card idea, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the card shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.